How do I continue manifesting the life I know I deserve when my 3D isn't always showing it? Stop being so like focused on the 3D. I can't get triggered or pissed off if I'm not focused on something long enough for the triggers to take place. So like you're still living your life based off like external circumstances, and that is a very weak, disempowered place to be, because you're and I know this because this is like what I go through at times, and then I have to catch myself, right? This is like a very like straightforward example. I was focused on my SP for like 2, maybe 1.5 weeks. Like there was something about his appearance that was pissing me off, and I'm not going to say because he's a very good man and he's a supporter, and babe, I love you, but this is what I was going through. And I was focused on his something that has to do with his appearance for several days. And it was stressing me the fuck out because I was affirming another story, but I was focused on this thing that I really wanted to change. And then I actually made it worse. So the physical thing that I was focused on about him turned into like in the 3D, like he was feeling pain in relation to this thing. And I was like he woke up in the middle of the night, like 2 nights in a row. And I was like thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to eventually have to take him to the hospital. And I realized that I was creating pain for him. I was creating a painful 3D for the both of us, because I never want to see anybody that I love in pain. So it was like this person was in pain, my SP, and then it was affecting me because I was like, you know, up with him, like trying to figure it out. And like we both were fucked up because we had to figure some shit out. And I knew that it was me creating it because I'm focused on 3D circumstances so heavily, and it was perpetuating and actually worsening the circumstance. And I had to check myself and realize, oh my gosh, bitch, it's because you're living in the 3D so badly. It's creating worse circumstances for you, and you're not going within your mind, trusting in your mind, and you're not walking by faith. You're walking by sight, which is so blind. Like, why am I walking by sight when I'm the operant power and God gives me the spirit of creation, the ability to create with my mind? So, and this is a discipline. I promise you, if a coach sits here and tells you that like they're perfect, they're lying, because we go through this as humans. I had to catch myself and realize that the only reason why I was focused on that 3D circumstance so badly was because I was triggered because of something that somebody else said. And I was like, oh my gosh, like using my SP to like, represent my worthiness. Like, I don't know. I was associating my worthiness with my SP in the 3D, and it was causing me like maybe 7 to 10 days of hell. And then eventually, like, I promise you guys, like I snapped out of it as soon as I caught it. And then my SP was healed. Like whatever he was going through in his 3D was no more. It was like night and day, but I wasn't amazed by it. I was just impressed with myself because I was like, okay, I caught it, and now he doesn't feel pain anymore. Like I remember being like, babe, how do you feel? And he was like, I'm good. Like I don't even feel this. And it was because I caught myself overthinking the 3D, and I reminding myself that like I am truly the operant power, and like there's no one ever to change but self. So if you're getting triggered by the 3D, it's because you're paying too much attention. You're focused. You're giving it too much attention. You're focused too much on it, and you're not doing the work. Here's the work. The work is, instead of focusing on what you don't want, you figure out what you do want and focus on that. So the figuring it out is kind of the work. Like it's really the work, because I think it's easier for us to be like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I hate that. This is annoying. What the fuck? It's so easy for us to like fall victim to like what's happening in the 3D when the mind is more powerful than the eyes. Like literally the mind is the most powerful thing. You need to figure out what the fuck is bothering you. Why is it bothering you? Don't judge yourself for why you don't like it or whatever. Just decide that I don't like this and I want this instead, and focus on the this instead. And don't be ashamed of doing that. A lot of times we feel ashamed. Like this thing that was happening with the physical with my, like the reason why it kept playing out was because I was like, oh, like I was judging myself. I was like, I don't like this, but I feel bad for changing this. Oh, but if I change this, what is that? That means that I will be a new person. Like there was so much, and it just kept getting worse. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't even know. Like my camera, like the timing went out, so I don't even know what the last thing I said was. But like, you need to honor Like, understand that you're worthy of having a healthy and happy and exciting and fun experience in life. So don't trouble yourself with bullshit for too long. Fix it in your mind and understand you're worthy of having the better thing, the desired circumstance, and focus on that. And understand that it takes a little bit of time, but it will unfold. It will unfold. Like, I can't even remember the question. It was something pertaining to, how do I continue manifesting the life I know? Like, by persisting. You just have to keep going. There's really no other way. And if things aren't conforming fast enough, it's because you're not focused on you long enough. So get out of the 3D, girl, and focus on what you want is the answer. What's the life that you know you deserve? Like, get specific. Is it your dream career? Do you want to make a lot of money? Do you want to travel? Like, how do you want your lifestyle to be? At 30, it hits different because you start to think about these things. At least for me, like, I started thinking like, okay, I don't consider myself really old, but I don't consider myself really young. I consider myself like, all right, let's get it together, bitch. Like, if you want to have children, and if you want to have a husband, and if you want to have a family, and if you want this for your life, like, what does that actually look like? And what is it going to take to get these things? And how do you have to change to become the person who has these things? It was so funny. My dad was asking me this in the car the other day, and he was like, what does 30 feel like to you? And I was like, it really feels like if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. Like, it really feels like if you don't do the things that you need to do to get the dream life, it will still be a dream life. Like, it will still be a dream, and it will still feel separate from you. Like you don't have to have it all figured out at once, but you have to get off your ass and not just visualize and do affirmations. I was stuck in that chapter at one point. I was in a chapter of like just affirming and visualizing and like relaxing and stuff. But I'm also very inspired to create.